Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain.
I'm still muted. I thought I was on, but welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you guys. I just said welcome in, welcome in. So welcome on in, everybody. It is Saturday, the 10th of May already, and I'm in a sweatshirt because I'm freezing. I am freezing. I don't know if it's cold where you guys are. It's not even cold here. It just is. It was just got a little cold in the apartment, so I'm trying to warm up a little bit. Now I'm getting really warm because as soon as we got on the live. But welcome in, everyone. We're going to talk about Idaho 4 and the Dateline episode in particular, but I've got some other stuff I'm going to show you guys as well. And I guess the dog's going to get comfortable in the back there. So if you hear her just rummaging around, that's her. Hey, get to the ducking point. Hey, Mary Beth, welcome in. Hey, Ladybug. Thanks for gifting out memberships, Mary Beth. I didn't see you even got them. Well, welcome on in, everybody. See, Ladybug knows. She's like, I know who got him. Thanks, Ladybug. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Pete. And Curtis, welcome in. Courtney, Crackerjacks, welcome in. Hey, Warflare. And Curtis. Try not to miss any. Hey, Tony. Hey, Machachi. Hello. Hi, Willows. Welcome in. Hey, Jenny. Did you guys have a good day today? Good Saturday? It felt like I felt like a Saturday today. Felt like one. I just kind of took it easy. Hey, baby girl, welcome in. Thank you, Machachi, for the super sticker. That's sweet. Hey, Michael. Yeah, yep. Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, actually, let me tell you guys. So if I don't see you tomorrow, because you might be out celebrating your day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, that are celebrating tomorrow. So hopefully everybody got a chance to watch the Dateline. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Margot. Hey, Zeus the God. Finally made alive, I know. And I know some people, they don't get it, like, where they're at. Like, you guys, like, some countries, they don't play it. Hey, Ryan. Hey, I already said hey to Warp Player, but I'll say it again. And I'll put the link in the chat. That's if you want to join the membership, and I think you can gift the same way, or you can go down to the little dollar sign at the bottom, and it should be on there. Hey, Crystal. Oh, hopefully you're feeling better. I think I got everybody. I'm still going through. I'm still going to the bottom. Hey, DM. Happy Saturday. Hey, Frenchie. Hopefully everybody got to see it. Hey, Jack. I can't play it on my channel because, yeah, yep. I didn't know that you sent it to me. I have it up though to play first. DM, thank you for sending it. Hey, thanks, Vivi. I appreciate that. Oh, from Willows. Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys are sweet. Jet said Jay's here. Lenora. I still had some names to go, I guess, huh? Aries changed his name again. EO Tuscan Raider Reality. Aries? Aries, I don't know. I don't know if I got that one right or not. Michael, thank you for gifting up 5 memberships. That's so sweet. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Didn't even get started yet, and you guys are already spoiling me. Look at that. You didn't get to see it? Okay, Curtis. Yeah, if anything, I'll give you guys a link or something to use. Hey, Mandy. And if I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Welcome on in, everybody. Hey, Squeaky Wheel. I thought I was at the bottom. I think I'm there. So welcome in. Just welcome in, everybody. I did get to watch the Dateline episode today. We don't have like live. Well, no, we have live TV. I don't know what we have here. It's some sort of like thing with we like signed up with like our fiber place. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I just know that we ended up having to get it off of Peacock today because like our TV will have like Fox and stuff on there, but for some reason we don't have NBC. I don't know why. But that's how we got it. So I don't know if Vincent had to pay because like I had him sit down and do it for me. Because I was busy. So he got on here and got it all ready for me to watch, which was really, really awesome. So I just had to like hit play and watch it. And I did take notes, tons of notes. We've got tons of notes. We've got Ashley Banfield went over it. And then she went over it on her own podcast. And then also there are some little clips out there from the Dateline episode that we can play. Just some of the stuff we can't play. And you know what it is that gets you? It's not even like Keith Morrison's voice or something, that like sends a signal to YouTube. It's the background music that they have behind the interviews, that little bit of background music. That's what they'll get you with. I guess it's trending again tonight. It wasn't trending earlier, but it is now. So but what I wanted to go over with you guys first is what DM was talking about. So today they did have graduation for Maisie and Hunter. And I know that we were watching the interviews that came out with Stacey Chapin, and she said that in one of their like, earlier interviews that today was going to be like one of the bigger days for them, to have to get through. And they were just going to have to be parents to Maisie and Hunter. That's what they had to do today. So this local news station got it. I don't know if it's the same one that DM sent me, but I saw this right before the live and I was like, oh, wow, look at that. It literally, yeah, an hour ago. So we'll play this and listen to this. And like I said, just keep them in your thoughts tonight. All the families, but especially the Chapins today. They're, probably going through a lot with having 2 of their kids able to graduate and one of them, no longer here.
It's been more than 2 years since 4 University of Idaho students were murdered in an off-campus house in November 2022. Today, one of those students, Ethan Chapin, would have been graduating. As a triplet, his siblings are walking across the stage without him. Fox 13's Shira Matsuzawa has a look at how they're doing and how Ethan is being honored.
Ethan's mom prepared for this day to be emotional when I first spoke with her a few months ago. She is just amazed with how his siblings have been able to move forward despite Ethan not being here for this monumental day. Still, she says they are blessed to have had 20 years with him. As these University of Idaho students walked toward the next chapter of their lives, one student was noticeably missing.
We have this motto called Live Life Like Ethan.
Ethan Chapin is a triplet. He would have been graduating this year alongside his siblings, Hunter
Chapin,
and Maisie.
Maisie Nicole Chapin.
They have just persevered. It's amazing, their strength and their ability to, move forward.
I talked with Ethan's mom, Stacy, back in February about this day.
It's a day, honestly, that Jim and I just have to be parents that day. We have to be parents to Maisie and Hunter. It is not a day that the obvious is that Ethan obviously isn't graduating that day, and that's going to be tough, but it's a day that we will just simply celebrate Maisie and Hunter. The whole world should be incredibly proud of, in my opinion, of Maisie and Hunter, the fact that they have persevered in this incredible tragedy that our family has faced.
To honor Ethan and keep his spirit alive, his family started the Ethan Chapin Smile Foundation. Earlier this month, the foundation awarded another $50,000 in scholarships to help others follow their dreams. They called this round of awards bittersweet, as Ethan should have been graduating this month. Instead, they say they're honoring his smile, his kindness, and his passion for life by providing scholarships.
He was a magnanimous personality, and Jim and I are proud of that and what we raised.
The Post went on to say they can't think of a better way to honor someone who wanted nothing but the best for others. In the newsroom, Shira Matsuzawa, Fox 13 News.
The trial for
That's sad. We watched that actually, I think last night. This podcast that they're promoting right now. So that's sad, but now I got something to show you that's even sadder. It's Brian Kohlberger and his selfies. I guess he decided he'd like to take selfies. Now, this first one I'm going to show you, is his arms really that long? Because it's kind of a weird angle, or does he have a tripod? Because, I'm just wondering how much effort are we putting into these selfies that we're going to be getting? The selfie quality. The qualities, someone said, is he using a brick phone? I don't know what kind of phone he's using, like 2 tin cans with a string or something, because the picture quality is terrible. And Dateline said that they cleaned up the images the best that they could. And this is what we got. So this is Brian here with his WSU sweatshirt on. Pretty sure he was wearing that same sweatshirt when he got arrested. When they called him bagging trash. There he is again. Doesn't this look like a weird angle? Maybe he's like putting the timer or something on. I don't know. That one looks like his eyes are rolling in the back of his head. I don't even want to know. And then this is the same like picture, just kind of like, I guess, up closer. And this looks like from his, okay, so they were saying that these were taken in his parents' house. But that closet door looks like the closet from WSU Apartments. So let me go check. What are those stupid apartments called? Steptoe. Right here. It looks like, I'll get it to the part I want to show you, because like you can take like a little tour of these apartments. Now it's gonna like, okay, oh, it stopped right here. Maybe not. Maybe I'm seeing stuff. Okay. But maybe I'm not seeing stuff. Okay. You tell me what you think. Do you think that he's standing in his like, maybe he's in his room at his parents' house in Monroe, maybe, but this almost looks like his apartment. Like if he was in the living room, which is over to the left, and then there's these two closets that are over to the right. See the closets? There's the bathroom where the bathroom selfie was taken. And then over this way is just like the living room. Like just goes around and it just like it looks like, oh, go back. It looks like this closet right here. UFC's on. Have a good night, Pete. I hear you about the UFC. My dad used to love UFC. But that does look like the closet. I wish we could see the handle. Like, I wish we could see that a little bit further down. But it looks like it's just, like, opened a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, and, like, the one in the steptoe apartments, they look like, yeah, bedroom closets also, but they're in the living room. It's a very weird spot to put a closet like that. Like, I would think, but who am I? Um, but it does look like trying to look at the paint. I don't know. It does look similar anyway. Um, so let me see what I have and then see what I wanted to show you. 'Cause I wanted to show you guys all kinds of stuff. We're just gonna go through it like this. I have a summary that I wrote out, and then we will go over the summary. And then I did find J.S. for Justice was awesome enough to put the clip for the 420 when he's speeding away at a high rate of speed. I wanted to see for myself if it was, how fast he was going. So and I watched the Dateline today. I was like, whoa, yeah, he's going pretty fast. I guess he was going so fast that he almost hit somebody. I don't know if they meant like a person walking or if they meant a car. They didn't really specify. But we'll go through this and then it looks like Brian Colbert is trending again. He wasn't trending a minute ago. I'm about to see what's going on over there. Like, what is going on over there? So, information has been gathered over the last 2 years from trusted sources since their last episode. This is pretty much going to be like a step by step of how this episode went. CCTV of the white car, I spelled that wrong, circling the home and speeding away afterwards. 4 new selfies on BK's phone, all creepy, in my opinion. They claim Madison Mogen was the intended target. Angela Nevaeh, who is Ashlyn's mother, is interviewed. She says Maddie was like a daughter to her, and Ashlyn would do a lot of girly stuff together. Examples including like shopping, things like that. They would go, to her mom's like house, and all the girls would go there, and they would go swimming and stuff like that. The girls were motivated and on top of their schoolwork and would have fun on the weekends. They would have graduated on top of their class, Angela says. Madison Mogen's boss at a clothing store in Coeur d'Alene said the girls valued their education. Madison turned down more hours at the retail store because she made $2 more at her serving job. Madison was great with employees, and they would have paid her more as she was so valued. I mean, I think the lady set up to like $25 or something, like they would have paid her to work at this boutique store. They referenced BK's online post and significant weight loss. They have a lot of pictures of BK, which hadn't been seen before. And then they, I showed you all of the pictures I think that they came out with, except for, no, that was all of them, all 4 of them. So master's teacher said he was one of the best 2 students she had in years. buys the knife 8 months before the murders. They show a pic of his car taken on his phone just before he leaves his family's home to go to Pullman. It's like a picture of like shows his license plate and he's heading off to Washington. I guess with his father, of course. He texted a woman a woman he met at the party before the murders. He has many photos of young women looking very similar to the Idaho victim saved on his phone. And then June 30th, 2022, BK pulls into his grad student lot at Pullman. He takes a picture of the outside of his apartment, which is shown. It's just when he's moving in. After unpacking, he gets invited to a pool party at the Grove in Moscow by a neighbor. Another guest at the party is interviewed. So there's a couple people that are interviewed that are new. They had interviewed that Salamajon or whatever his name is, him and Christian Martinez prior in their previous reporting. And then they had some new people they interviewed in this reporting, if that makes sense. So after unpacking, he gets invited to the pool party. And then Zach, the guest, is playing music at the party. He's known as like the PhD DJing or something. I don't know. He's a PhD student. I don't know. I forget the name now, but it's kind of a weird name. But there is video showing the party from someone's phone. So that video that we saw last night that like panned around, that wasn't like particularly of Brian Koberger. I thought that was like a video maybe had him in it, but I don't believe that video had Brian in it. It just was a picture or a video on someone's phone that they had that they wanted to show, I guess to Dateline. So another guest appears and is interviewed. Someone introduced him to BK. Awkward interaction, he says. They have nothing in common, and that's okay. BK speaks to Zach, the DJ. Eventually, Zach had to ask him to let him play the music as BK was really invading his space. And we have heard that before, previous reporting. Another guest, Holly, started chatting to Brian. They talked about the fact that they both moved from home to do a PhD. He seemed awkward and she felt obligated to talk to him. Seemed like he was trying his best to get out there. They talked about a hiking group she was in. They exchanged phone numbers and she texted him her name. A close friend explains that BK became infatuated on two young women, so two other women at the party wearing bikinis. So remember, like last night, I was like, is she one of the girls like that was with, the two girls in the bikinis? No, that girl was separate from these other girls. So the two girls that he saw in the bikinis, I guess he didn't get both of their phone numbers because one of them was married and she gave her husband one of those like rescue me now looks, like this guy's bothering me. So BK brushes off her husband and the girls jump in the pool as he's brushing off her husband and he goes and sits down at the edge of the pool, like where the girls went, like when they jumped in, where they went to. So he was kind of like following them in a way. I don't know. Where were we at? It says, the day after Holly receives a text from BK about hiking. This is the one message. They really enjoyed that activity. It's this message here. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to hit the mic. It says, hey, I'm pretty sure we spoke about hiking trips yesterday. I really enjoy that activity. So please let me know. Thanks. It's a little weird. That is, sorry, but it is. Holly ignores the text, never sees BK again. Zach, however, does see BK again. He approaches him like they're good friends. Zach has no recollection of who he was. BK and Zach meet again on a hike 15 miles from Pullman at almost nighttime. BK is walking up the hill alone into the dark. And this might help the defense right here. I mean, Zach says this was odd as it was late. Now, I don't know if I know a lot of those hiking trails, they'll close like gates, like the gates will close. But I'm assuming that there's still ways you could probably get back there if you wanted to. But I know a lot of those places, they close at night. BK recognized them very well and approached them as if they were friends. Zach again didn't remember him very well. And we also heard this from another guy too, that Salamajon guy, that he saw BK like a month after the party. They were hiking. So I'm assuming that he was in this group of people that were hiking, and BK walked up to all of them. I'm assuming that there's not two separate, encounters. So BK recognized them. Sorry, I read that before. Behavioral analysis says BK is comfortable operating in the dark. In the summer months before the murders, phone signals show his phone traveling to Moscow in early July to mid-August multiple times. This covers the area of the home. We don't know if he parked here or just passed the home. No prior interaction between BK and the victims, which have been found. This goes for social media, and I'm going to say here, except for People magazine, who say that Brian was following Maddie, Kaylee, and Xana. Remember, we read that last night. They said, according to their sources, they were being followed. I don't know. If the prosecution and the defense are saying no, then I'm going to go with that. August 16th, 2022, records show his phone, or records from his phone show Google searches of Ted Bundy, as well as a professor at his university who wrote about Ted Bundy and how killers justify themselves. And it's not Catherine Ramsland, a different professor. Same day, Maddie Mogan posted a pic on Instagram of her and all 4 roommates at their home. And it was the picture of them. I don't know if you guys will remember. They're all standing out back. It's that picture of them on the back porch. Then later that day at 5:30, a noise complaint is filed to the house, and it's the one where Kaylee comes out of the house. They imply this is suspicious timing considering his Google searches. So I don't know if they're going to say that he was calling these, they had a couple during the day, like, calls to the home, noise complaints. I'm wondering if it was Brian calling the noise complaints in to see how long it would take for cops to show up, or do they show up? Do they show up and they just let you party on, like, carry on like you did before? Or do they arrest somebody? Like, what do they do? Maybe he was curious to see. So Ashlyn's mother says someone like BK couldn't have come into the house and joined the party. She says the girls would notice him and kick him out. She said that. Brian's phone shows searches related to porn. I have to say it like that. He searched terms like forced, passed out, sleeping, and rugged. So he was searching some things. When he was stopped in August in his car, he Googled, "When can an officer detain you?" Not really what I'd probably be Googling, but okay. BK was demanding during his PhD and thought he was the smartest in the room. Accusations of sexism in his class. Madison Mogan, previous clothing store manager, even heard about it. BK belittled a female professor, the same one who wrote about Ted Bundy. She had issues with English language usage or something like that, is what I gathered from it. BK had a friend at the university. She was an outsider and was far from home. She said she felt something about Koberger. She even approached him thinking about a romantic relationship, and he pulled away. It was the first time that BK was looking at photos of young women, close friends of Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Kaylee Gonzalez. Pictures of them in bathing suits, some students at WSU and some U of I, not all related to the victims, but some were friends. I mean, but I guess it probably wouldn't be maybe hard to have like friends with the victims on your phone if you're. I'm just playing devil's advocate, which I don't think he should have these pictures. But if he just had random pictures of girls like off of their Instagram, because the girls were pretty popular, And it did say on the Dateline episode that he was getting them off of Instagram. So it wasn't like pictures that he was taking, like candid pictures or anything like that. As far as what we heard on the Dateline episode, it was, pictures of like off of like Instagram. So popular, attractive, and female, these images were found in his search history. His female friend at WSU, September 2022, said she thought there was a break-in. She leaves a cake, comes home, and finds it in the microwave. Okay. In her bathroom, all of her cosmetics were lined up on the toilet seat. Is that OCD? I don't know. Also, 2 items are missing: a watch and a personal letter. It's 2 a.m. She's scared. She calls BK and stays in his apartment that night. She puts the pieces together. BK knew about the watch and the letter. The day before this theft, she couldn't find the key to her apartment. She kept this key in her office drawer. She shared this office with BK. Later on, suddenly her key is back. So can't find her key, and then all of a sudden, bam, it's there again. She gets a security system she can access from her phone. She calls BK to help install it. Later, she realizes BK may have this footage on his phone too. Also, that he may be the one who broke in. She declined to comment in the documentary. BK would lose his temper in classes. BK was stressed. New acquaintances were avoiding him and job going down the hill. The dean's request to see him to talk to him about his behavior. BK Googles psychopathic traits of students around this time. First 2 weeks of October, BK's phone pings within 100 meters of the 1122 house late at night. At the same time, October 4th-ish, BK is looking at more images of young women at WSU and U of I. He searches more disturbing porn stuff. October 19th searches, can psychopaths behave pro-socially? He Googles his own name 4 times in the span of 13 days. November 2nd, he was at a meeting at WSU to discuss an improvement plan. This is after approaching a student on campus at her car, making her uncomfortable. On November 10th, Kohlberger stops using his debit card. November 11th, police say he used forensic avoidance tactics. So that's where I got to in the episode. I wanted to show you this video of him speeding away too. So let me make sure the volume's down because I don't want it to like play the music or anything in the background. I don't know if Jay's talking, but this is going to be him like leaving. So I'm going to put it back a little bit.
That terrible night, pulling up to the house just before the
I told him not to do that. Okay. So this is him leaving. 4:20. This is him skedaddling. Pretty fast. I'll let it go a couple times so you can see it. So that's him going down to the end and then he's turning back around, but then that's him going. Pretty fast. I mean, no one needs to be hauling that fast to be going down the road, right? It's pretty fast. Oh, maybe that's what it is, Claw. Thank you. That could be what it is. Because I'm like, why are they so bad for? I mean, they could be a lot better. So Ashley Banfield dropped a video like 6 hours ago on her podcast. She must have watched the Dateline episode. She's ready to talk about it. She couldn't even wait till 10 o'clock tonight. So she's like, we doing it now. I got this set up in my home now. So I'm going to play this for you guys, and we'll pause it here and there for commentary. Also, if you guys don't mind taking a second, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you. We do talk true crime daily on the channel here every night at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I was just a little late tonight. It's usually 9:15.
Ashley Banfield, this is Drop Dead Serious. And if you thought that you knew everything about Brian Kohberger and the Idaho student murders, think again. Because the Dateline NBC episode that just aired, the one with Keith Morrison, it is not a rehash. It is not a recap. It is a veritable avalanche of brand new jaw-dropping reporting. And I am going to walk you through all of it. And just FYI, this is not a full recap of the Dateline special, just the brand new details that stood out in the special, starting with something from the summer of 2022. NBC reports that right after Brian Kohberger left Pennsylvania and moved into his new apartment at Washington State University, he was invited to a pool party by a neighbor. And that sounds normal enough. But according to a woman named Holly, who was also at that party, things got pretty weird pretty fast. According to Dateline, Holly says that Brian Kohberger seemed awkward at the party, that he didn't seem to know anybody, and she could tell that he was trying to put himself out there. And Holly felt, charitable, obligated to talk to him. And then Kohberger put his cell phone number into her cell phone contacts and texted himself from her phone. She later texted back just her name, Holly. At this same pool party, a witness says he saw Kohberger fixated on two women in bikinis. One of them was married and gave her husband one of those nonverbal signals like, rescue me. We all know them, right? The same witness says that Kohberger didn't seem to get the message or ignored it outright, and that he brushed the husband off and sat down at the edge of the pool, even closer to the women.
Okay, now that's just creepy, okay? Like that is. You know when someone's trying to get away from you.
The day after the pool party, July 10th, NBC reports that Holly got a text from Brian Kohberger. It said, "Hey, I'm pretty sure we spoke about hiking trips yesterday. I really enjoy that activity, so please let me know. Thanks." Holly told Dateline she thought it was robotic and awkward and strange, and that it was just not the kind of normal language that people would use, and ultimately she just never responded. We also heard about a man who was DJing that same pool party, who said he ran into Brian Kohberger later on. The DJ was with some friends when he saw Kohberger hiking on the Kamiok Butte, a popular trail about 15 miles outside of Pullman, Washington. The DJ said that this run-in was near nightfall and that Kohberger was hiking uphill in the dark, all alone. The group thought that it was odd, especially that late in the evening. According to Dateline, the DJ said that Kohberger walked right up to his group as though they were old friends, but the group didn't recognize him. Now, jump forward to August 16th, 6 weeks after moving to Washington State University. That's when Brian Kohberger allegedly went on a Google spree. Dateline says he searched for the words Ted Bundy, but he misspelled it as Ted H7NDY. The letters are very close together, so you can see that it was an effort to say Bundy. And then he allegedly searched for the name of one of his professors and then downloaded a paper that professor had written. And the title of the paper? Ted Bundy on the Malignant Being, an analysis of the justificatory discourse of a serial killer by Amélie Pedneau. Then came August 21st, 5 days after that Bundy.
What she just show? Was this a paper on a Ted Bundy analysis of the jurisdictionary discourse of a serial killer? I'm gonna take a picture of this really quick. That's like, feel like I'm gonna regret not having this later on and be like, wait, we should be going over that. Right. Okay.
Analysis of the justificatory discourse of a serial killer by Amélie Pedneau. Then came August 21st, 5 days after that Bundy search, when Kohberger got a traffic ticket near to 1122 King Road. And 5 days after that, on August 26th, he Googled, "When can a cop detain you?" In September, a Korean woman with whom Koberger shared an office at WSU, somebody Dateline described as one of the only friends that Brian Koberger had, she shared with NBC that she believed someone had broken into her apartment because her stuff was rearranged weird. A cake that she had baked was found in the microwave. Items in her bathroom were lined up in an odd way. And 2 of her things were missing: a watch and a letter. A letter. Not a lot of value for just a old-fashioned burglar to steal a letter. But that was what was gone: a watch and a letter. Later on, this same woman told the police that before that break-in had happened, she'd lost her apartment key. She said she kept the key in a specific drawer in her office, the same office that she shared with Brian Koberger. A few hours after she noticed that it was missing, the key mysteriously reappeared. So, feeling unsafe after the break-in, Dateline reports that she went to Koberger's apartment seeking his help. Remember, she thinks they're friendly, close even. And now looking back on things, she wonders if he was the one who broke into her apartment in the first place and did all those very strange things. Dateline also reported that this same woman actually had a romantic interest in Brian Koberger, and that when she said something to the effect of, "Hey, I'd like something more with you," Brian Koberger apparently got cold feet and began to distance himself. The woman said it was actually upsetting. NBC News reports that on September 30th, Koberger Googled sociopathic traits in college student. Then, according to NBC, things ramp up again. October 4th, 6:12 a.m., Koberger is all over social media, searching women at WSU, Washington State University, and the University of Idaho, too. October 5th, 3:29 a.m., more searches of women. October 9th, 2:15 a.m., he Googles explicit terms related to pornography, like forced, passed out, drugged, sleeping. October 19th, 5:37 a.m., another search. Can psychopath behave prosocially? In the Dateline episode, there were a number of new blurry selfies of Brian Koberger on his own phone. Keith Morrison said the photos were resized for quality, but otherwise unchanged. Many were of Brian in black hoodies, sometimes wearing 2 layers of black clothing, different poses, different outfits. He also had screenshots of various Instagram profiles saved as pictures to his phone. The screenshots were photos of young women, blondes, brunettes, from both WSU and University of Idaho. According to Dateline, some of the people whose social media was saved onto Koberger's phone were either close friends or social media followers of Maddie Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, and Xana Kernodle. One criminal profiler told Dateline that those images, quote, fueled his fantasies, and that ultimately, allegedly, filled his fantasies. And then on the night of the murders, November 13th, Dateline showed never-before-seen surveillance video that captured a white car making multiple passes in front of the house at 1122 King Road, all captured on camera at these times: 3:30 a.m., 3:33 a.m., 3:38 a.m., 3:40 a.m., 3:56 a.m., 3:58 a.m. And then at 4:20 a.m., the white car speeds away. In the footage, you can hear what seems to be the white car's engine revving up. Here's what else is new. At 6:17 a.m., not even 2 full hours after the white car was seen on surveillance, leaving 1122 King Road, Dateline reports that Brian Koberger makes a 36-minute phone call to a number on his father's family plan. And apparently, every family member had a phone registered to Brian Koberger's dad. It was the first of three calls to numbers registered to his dad that
Oh, yeah, I
morning.
forgot to put that.
And the longest call,
I forgot to put that in my notes. Yeah, he called his dad.
that lasted 54 minutes.
54 minutes.
And then, as we know,
What are you talking to your parents about for 54 minutes? Anything in particular? Do you call like when you have like a problem and that's when you talk for a while? Or I mean, because 54 minutes is a long time. You could talk about a lot of stuff within 54 minutes.
at 10:31 a.m., he takes that now infamous selfie in what looks like a bathroom, smiling, seemingly very pleased and seemingly freshly showered. Keith Morrison described that once police were called and arrived at 1122 King Road that morning, they found Xana Kernodle in a massive pool of blood. They found Ethan Chapin, according to NBC, dead in Xana's bed. And then there's what Dateline revealed about the crime scene itself. They say Xana may have heard something upstairs on the third floor and maybe even gone to check on Kaylee and Maddie up there. According to NBC sources, Xana was likely chased back downstairs to the second floor, possibly the moment that Brian Koberger, if he's the killer, dropped or left behind that knife sheath. The fight that followed in Xana's room, according to Dateline, was brutal. So brutal that investigators found a blood-stained chair, suggesting that the killer either sat down or brushed against it during the attack. And then, as for Ethan, Dateline again with some astounding information. They report that one of Ethan's wounds pierced an artery and that his legs were, quote, carved. Their words,
disgusting.
carved. I have to just jump in here for a moment because unless we learn something earth-shattering about the forensics at trial, it is hard to imagine what forensic information could lead any investigator to have a theory that Xana left her room with Ethan, went all the way down her hall, turned right and up the stairs to the third floor. Only
She was probably going, if this is the way it was, she was probably going to take her DoorDash bag to the kitchen. So Ethan's sleeping, or he's passing out or he's getting ready to be passing out. She leaves the bedroom, has her bag, takes her bag and goes to put it in the kitchen. And then at that point, maybe she hears something going on up on the third floor. Well, Xana to me looked like she could take care of her own. You know what I mean? Like she didn't seem like the type of girl that would run and grab her boyfriend just to go check to see what's going on upstairs with the girls. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I heard something going on up there. I'm just going to go up there and tell these girls to be quiet. I'm trying to go to sleep, you know? So, and then as she was going up the stairs, maybe that's when he saw her. He was coming down the stairs and I think that her running through the house, like to get to her room to get to Ethan, maybe Ethan didn't hear her because he was just intoxicated and he was sleeping, he was half asleep or sleeping.
to come running back down without screaming so loud that at least Dylan would hear
would think
because
that
she'd
they would be
run
screaming.
right past Dylan's door and then down the hall back to her room. There's nothing so far in anything that we've seen in any of the court documents or affidavits or police documents to suggest this forensically could have happened. But Dateline says the source says this is what is possible, that Xana may have run back down to her room and then met this extraordinary, violent death, and that Ethan, his death, was on the bed. And Dateline also aired some chilling audio captured at 4:17
Oh, I'm glad they had this.
a.m. A faint whimper followed by a loud thud. Presumably, this audio was captured by a neighbor's ring cam or door cam or surveillance camera. And we know that the neighbor off to the left of the King Road house, if you're looking out from the house, had such a surveillance system set up. If you see on this overhead view, the red circle is where the King Road house used to stand before it was knocked down, and it faced outward towards Queen Road. To the left of it, you can see 1112 and that little white staircase. That's the view that you're seeing from the Dateline surveillance camera that captures the car. And you can also see that it points out towards King Road, clearly on the opposite side of the house from the home where the 4 students were murdered. It's possible that the same camera that caught the white car driving up King Road and taking a right on Queen Road was the camera that captured the audio clear behind the house next door where those 4 students lived. The audio of the faint whimper, the loud thud, and the dog barking. And then Maddie and Kaylee were found together, as has been reported before, stabbed to death in the same bed on the 3rd floor. 3 days later, November 16th, 9:16 a.m., Bryan Kohberger Googles University of Idaho murders. That same day, police held their first press conference. And then 2 days later, November 18th, 12:16 a.m., Dateline reports that Bryan Kohberger was watching a specific video on YouTube. The thumbnail of that video says, "The Perfect Killing Machine, Ted Bundy, Serial Killer, Unsolved No More." Dateline says for 6 weeks between the murder and his arrest, Kohberger watched even more YouTube videos about the murders on King Road, almost appearing as though he was collecting coverage. And here's where things really made my skin crawl. Welcome back. The eyes of the nation are on the Idaho quadruple murders.
And over the next 6 weeks, records show
Well, she would be on there.
photos and videos and news updates about the King Road murders were viewed or saved.
Apparently, my own coverage of this case made a cameo appearance. I'm not sure if Dateline is saying absolutely that one of the files that Bryan Kohberger was watching was me and my coverage, but I have often wondered, as we're on the lookout for a killer who is unknown until he or she is known, is that killer watching television to try to stay one step ahead? Is that killer watching television because they obsess over their own handiwork? But God forbid.
Right, Kaylee? He got a little tired. He decided to take a seat, I guess, right? I mean,
Thought that Bryan Kohberger might have been watching my work on an even semi-regular basis before his capture, it makes me terrified. It makes me terrified because if he is the killer, what else would he have fantasized about? Who else would he have fantasized about? And then Dateline showed a collage of several YouTube videos from my network, News Nation, and the Law and Crime Network, and a number of other true crime channels on YouTube. NBC never said how many videos Bryan Kohberger reportedly watched, but what they showed on the screen looked like someone flipping through a deck of cards, except if the cards were all different videos about the murders on King Road. You will probably remember in the early hours of December 30th, police raided the Kohberger home. And then new information, again from NBC, at 11:53 p.m. on December 29th, just hours before his arrest, he listened apparently to a slowed down version of a Britney Spears song. the lyrics saying, quote, "He is a killer just for fun, fun, fun. He's got no conscience. He's got none, none, none."
He is a killer just for fun, fun, fun. He's got no conscience, he got none, none, none.
When he was arrested, he was
I bet you that song is like hitting records right now, being probably downloaded by people. I mean, Britney Spears is probably like, why is everyone listening to Criminal? No one listened to it when it was a song. I used to like Britney Spears, didn't even know the song until yesterday.
wearing a black hoodie, rubber
I guess
gloves,
I'm not a very
and
good.
handling a plastic bag
I guess I'm not a good Britney Spears fan.
in the middle of the night. My colleague at News Nation, Brian Enton, was the first and only person on the scene before the sun came up, literally within hours of all of this happening. And he showed us the smashed glass and the broken front door where the SWAT team had to force their way into the family home. Freelance writer Howard Bloom reported Koberger's parents were zip-tied. And once Brian himself was in the back of the police patrol car, he allegedly told the officer, quote, "Maybe we should get a cup of coffee after it's over." That according to NBC. If you have not yet seen this Dateline special report, run, don't walk, and make sure you watch it. Keith Morrison lays everything out, and the case just keeps getting darker. If this is just the beginning of the evidence that prosecutors are sitting on, my God, buckle up.
That's why Bill Thompson is looking so relaxed in those court proceedings. He's like leans back in his chair, like he's taking a nap. Like, I mean, we've all seen it. We've all seen it. I'm like, he must have something really, really good if he's just over there napping away, you know. But yeah, I think that they have a lot of evidence in their favor. As of right now, it just keeps stacking up on them, you know? It's not looking good. Not looking good. Now, Ashley Banfield, he probably watched your coverage, honey, because you were covering it every night. I mean, we were covering it every night, and we were covering you covering it every night. So, maybe he wasn't watching old Ashley Banfield. Maybe he was watching TitaniumBuilt, and I just happened to be playing Banfield. That could be it. That was probably what it was. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, don't worry, Banfield, he won't come after you. I don't think that you're in his wheelhouse. He does. It's like we talked about the American Psycho movie. He even looks like the guy in a way. What was that, Christian Bateman? Was that who that was? Christian Bateman? You guys will know in the chat. Those selfies will get him the death penalty. Oh man, it should be a crime to take a selfie like that. It should be. So I'm gonna read this article to you guys. They are so E! News. I didn't know this. They are in with NBC. I guess they're like all in the same network, so they may have some stuff that we don't know, that we didn't hear. You know, that I haven't went over tonight. I haven't went over because I think I went over most of the notes that I went over all the notes I took, but I think we got most of it. Most of the Dateline episode. I don't think we're missing you guys. We're not missing anything, I don't think. Let me know if I did. But on November 13th, 2022, police found roommates. They're calling him a roommate, I guess. But Ethan Chapin, 20, his girlfriend Zana, 20, Kayla Gonzalez, 21, and Mattis Mogan, 21, deceased inside their Moscow, Idaho home. The victims died from suffering multiple wounds made with a large knife, prosecutors said in a March court filing obtained by Dateline and cited in its May 9th special, The Terrible Night on King Road. Chapin appears to have been the last of the four to be targeted by the killer. Sources close to the investigation told the outlet he was believed to be asleep in bed before his death and that the perpetrator carved the victim's lower legs with a blade. Now, if you're wondering what that means, I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, I know what carved means. but I don't know if he carved something in them, like words, letters, numbers, or if it was just, like the knife, if it was just him using the knife to do it, just to take him down. And because it says the victim's lower legs with a blade. Before targeting Chapin, the attacker stabbed Kernodle, who was still awake after ordering food from DoorDash, the sources said. It was Mogan who may have been the killer's intended target because the intruder had gone directly to her bedroom first, the sources. A tan leather sheath for a large K-bar knife was found on the bed next to her body. Gonzalez was with her at the time. Security footage obtained by Dateline shows a car investigators believe to be Kohberger's white Elantra circling past the house blocks multiple times the early morning hours of the murders. Kohberger, a Washington State University criminal justice doctoral student, was arrested at his parents' home in Pennsylvania in late December 2022 and charged with murder in connection with the killings. In 2023, a judge entered a not guilty plea on 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of burglary on his behalf. E-News, they tried to reach out to Kohberger's legal team for comment on the Dateline special and has not heard back. They are not going to hear back. In the probable cause affidavit released at the time of Kohberger's arrest, police stated that the knife sheath that was found on the victim's house contained male DNA, which investigators linked to the 28-year-old after comparing it to DNA samples obtained from the trash at his family's home. Maybe she's going to want that gag order lifted after hearing this Dateline episode. What do you think she's thinking? That's what I kind of thought, Christine. But, if he was laying on the bed, like on his stomach, I could see him laying like that. That would be the only way I could see him getting him, because if he's the other way, that'd be too hard to cut, and I think he would get kicked in the face by one of the feet. An FBI cell phone expert examined Kohberger's phone data, which Dateline obtained. Don't know how they obtained that. The records allegedly indicated that late in the morning after the killings, a call was made to a number registered to his dad's account, under which several other family phones are registered. The data also shows the suspect phone was in Moscow just after 9 a.m. before prosecutors say he returned to his apartment in Pullman, where he took a mirror selfie while giving a thumbs up. The device contained dozens of pictures of female students at Washington State and the University of Idaho, including some linked to the 3 murdered women, Dateline said. Kohberger alleged browsing history or activity included Google searches for University of Idaho murders and a program about serial killer Ted Bundy, Britney Spears' song Criminal. According to Dateline, Kohberger's trial is set to begin in August. If found guilty of all crimes, he could face the death penalty. Just says read on for more about the case. So on November 12th, 2022, the night before their bodies were found, Gonzalez and Mogan were at a nearby sports bar while Kernodle and Chapin were at the latter's fraternity party. By 2 a.m. on November 13th, the 4 roommates and Chapin were back at the 3-story rental house. Gonzalez was a senior majoring in general studies at the College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences. She was expected to graduate in December before heading to Austin, Texas for a job at a marketing firm, her friend Jordan Quesnell told the New York Times. Mogan, who was studying marketing, was best friends with Gonzalez since the 6th grade. She had plans to move to Boise after graduation, family friend Jesse Frost shared with the Idaho Statesman. Kernodle was a junior majoring in marketing, the university said at the time. She and Chapin, who majored in recreation, sport, and tourism management, had been dating since the spring, the roommate's neighbor Ellie McKnight told NBC News. And this is the picture I was talking about earlier that they had taken in that August. So 2 roommates, Dylan and Bethany, who had been home at the time of the murders, in a text messages that were unsealed on March 6, 2025, Mortensen and Funk tried contacting the roommates on November 13th after the former saw a masked man moving through the house, according to documents obtained by E! News. No one is answering. Mortensen text Funk at 4:22 a.m. I'm really confused right now. She continued to reach out to the other roommates, urging them to respond. Please answer. She texts Gonzalez at 4:32 a.m. and again at 10:23 a.m. Are you up? At 11:58 a.m., a 911 call was placed after Kernodle was found unresponsive per an additional motion obtained by E! News. A woman named A1 in the transcript described the current situation to the operator. One of the roommates who passed out and said she was drunk last night and she's not waking up, she said on the phone. They saw some man in their house last night. Brian Kohlberger, who has been charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder, was a doctoral candidate at Washington State University. Over 1 month after the bodies of Gonzalez, Mogan, Kernodle, and Chapin were discovered, Kohlberger was taken into custody on December 30th in Monroe County, Pennsylvania. He was extradited to Idaho on January the 4th. As far as authorities connected him to the killings, DNA was found on a knife sheath that was left at the crime scene, prosecutors revealed in June 2023 per court documents. When the DNA didn't match anyone in the FBI database, authorities ran the DNA through public ancestry websites to create a list of potential suspects according to the filings. After learning that Kohlberger had driven to his parents' home in Monroe County, local officials then went through their trash and found DNA that tied him to that found on the sheath. At the moment, a motive for the attack has not been detailed, and a gag order prevents many involved in the case from speaking publicly. NBC News reported, however, the unsealed document provided some insight into their arguments. Kohlberger's attorneys argued in a motion obtained by E! News to strike the death penalty that Kohlberger could face the death penalty if found guilty on all counts. A judge ruled in November 2024, and then he has the autism spectrum disorder, and that executing him would violate the 8th Amendment's prohibition on cruel and unusual punishment. That's not true, though. His defense argued that Kohlberger displays extremely rigid thinking, perseverates on specific topics, possesses information on a piecemeal basis, struggles to plan ahead, and demonstrates little insight into his own behaviors and emotions. Due to his ASD, Mr. Kohlberger cannot comport himself in a manner that aligns with the social expectations of normalcy, the motion said. This creates an unconscionable risk that he will be executed because of his disability, rather his culpability. No, Anne, no. Kohlberger, I'm just like, no, Anne. Kohlberger had a judge enter a not guilty plea to the first-degree murders on his behalf after remaining silent at his May 2023 arraignment. That was 2 years ago. Man, that's a long time. Although his trial was set to begin October 2nd, 2023, Kohlberger waived his right to a speedy trial in August 2023. His new trial date, which will take place in Ada County, more than 300 miles from Latah County, where the killings took place, is set to begin August 11th, 2025. Latah Judge John Judge ruled in favor of the transfer request made by Kohlberger's defense team in September 2024 based on presumed prejudice if the trial remained in Latah County. Ada County Judge Stephen Hippler, who is now presiding over the case, denied the motion's request to suppress key DNA and other evidence, including cell phone and email records, surveillance footage, past Amazon purchases, and DNA evidence in the trial. Okay. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the interview that Steve did last night, but he was on Banfield. I did, like, as soon as we got off our live last night, literally, I clicked off our live, went to the live tab or something like that, or the For You page or whatever, and this was up, and I was like, oh, okay, I could have played that a minute ago. So I didn't know. So we'll play it now just in case some of you guys didn't get a chance to see it. I did put it on under my videos earlier today, but that way you guys will have a chance to see the video. Shoot. If you guys don't mind, take a second, hit the like button, and that really helps my channel. Little small channel over here trying to grow. A little engine that could. Thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate it so much.
Again, I'm joined by Steve Gonzalez, father of Kaylee Gonzalez, who was one of the 4 kids murdered inside 1122 King Road. Steve, there's a lot of blockbuster revelations by NBC. One of the ones I found so upsetting was the allegation that these are pictures of University of Idaho girls on Brian Koberger's phone. Do you have any idea if Kaylee was among them?
I don't know, but I find it very telling that there was other students that are supposed to be in their friend circles that are on that phone for sure.
And do you know anything more about what that mother, Angela Naveja's, with the daughter Ashlyn, who was best friends with Maddie? Do you know anything more about that child's story? I mean, that girl's story. You know, Ashlyn was supposed to spend the night there. It's just so upsetting to think what happened. Why didn't she?
I don't know the details on Ashlyn. I definitely know Ashlyn. I've met and hung out with her. We've done fundraisers together, and her mother. So, yeah, I know that she spent. She used to be a roommate there. So, I'm a little surprised at how that night, but I'm not surprised that she would be over there and hanging out with the girls at all.
Boy, have you had a chance to talk with her since the revelation that she was supposed to be there and wasn't and decided not to be?
No, and I just heard that she doesn't want to come back to Idaho, and now I've got a daughter who's going to Texas for college now, so I kind of understand how it feels for some of these side victims, that how they feel like they just don't feel safe and they want to just run, get out of the area. So her saying that is kind of rang true with our daughter.
The internet search is alleged to be, Ted Bundy and then non-consensual violent sex. You've said that this stands out because of reports before from the Reddit survey that Brian Koberger sent out, as a criminology student, asking other criminals about their methods. Talk to me more about that.
Yeah, we got a letter and it had a phone number in there, and we called this individual, and he said he had been interviewed by Brian. And he got the sense that Brian was getting off on his story, and his story was basically he'd listen to a police scanner, wait for somebody to call the police on a domestic violence type thing, and then the male would be arrested, and then he would go into those neighborhoods, and that would be the house that he would rob. So he said that Brian seemed to enjoy his story, and he said that he had he felt like he started enjoying certain aspects of his story, where he would talk about drunk females passed out, and he basically said, I could have done anything. I was just going for jewelry, going for money, going for whatever he was. But Brian would call him back repeatedly and want to know more details on that story.
It's all just so upsetting. And I know we're getting closer and closer to this trial where we will hear actual evidence as opposed to reports. Steve, thank you for that. I also want to let our audience, Steve, know that your family has to travel upwards of 8 hours to be at the trial of Brian Koberger, and it's expected to last for months. So, folks, a friend of the Gonzalez family has set up a GoFundMe to help them make that repeated travel. It's called Help Kaylee Gonzalez's Family Attend Trial. If you want to go there, there's the address for you. The name of the GoFundMe account is right there.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe.
Man, they always do that. They always get me. I was trying to see what was over on Twitter, but I don't know. I feel like it's went into hell in a handbasket. Let's see. That's a. I was trying to see if this was worth showing to you guys, but it's not. So is there anything that's what shocked you guys the most hearing? I don't know. I think probably trying to think of what. Not really the surveillance. The carving in Ethan's legs were probably, you know. Oh, thank you, Ladybug, for gifting out memberships. So they've been working on this info, I guess, for the last couple of years that they've been on the ground out there in Idaho. They've been working on getting this info. You know how Dateline is. Dateline can get it if they want it, I guess. I was going to see if there's anything else I want to show you, but I don't think there really is. I think that we did a really good job last night and the last couple of nights. I was trying to see if there's anything I missed. People are unhitched on the old Twitter. I'm trying to go through the posts that aren't so unhinged, but they're all like that. Now, I wonder what everyone's going to say about this Dateline episode. I mean, I'm curious. Kohlberger's trending again. I don't understand why he's trending, and I don't see anything new. Yeah, this is all the same stuff that we've seen. Okay. Hey, the real Kels. You think more flare? I don't know if he'll be able to. I don't know. He might have a 1,000-yard stare. Dateline. Yeah. Oh, well, they don't have that suffering problem here or over there in Idaho. They're just going to unalive them all with bullets, I guess. The next court date is the 15th. Let me double check for you. Let me go over here and double check for you guys. Because after I said that, I'm like, I'm not sure. But we are all up to date on all the documents. So that's good. It'll take me a minute just to scroll through. Yes, here we go. So yeah, 5:15. They have a pretrial conference at 9 a.m. So it'll be 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 11 a.m. my time. And then they have 7:21. So nothing for June, which he said he was going to do one a month. I don't know. He might switch that because he canceled one. So he might put another one in its place. But May 15th, pretrial conference at 9 a.m. So just look out for the live at 11. It'll be 11 a.m. live. And then we'll be back in court again on July the 21st for a hearing schedule. And then 7:30 hearing schedule and jury trial will begin. Jury selection will begin. And then August the 11th, jury trial. So there's only a few things left on the list of things to do. It's crazy. When this case is over with, I don't know what I'll do. I don't know. I mean, it'll be 3 years almost. It'll be 3 years. Yeah, it'll be like 3 years. And I know when I first came to the platform, Kylie Rodney was the first case that I covered on this whole platform. And I covered her case for a couple months. And I remember when it was like we got the reports back and it showed that it was an accident. I just felt like I hit like a brick wall or something. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, there was no more like, what do I need to look up? What do I need to look up? So, but yeah, you're welcome, DM. I appreciate you guys all being here. If you guys don't mind, take a second, hit the like on your way in or out. It's going to be a short live tonight, not too long tonight, but I'll be back on tomorrow at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll talk about Idaho. We'll talk about whatever. We'll talk about some cases. There are a couple. Sorry, there are a couple cases that were covered on the channel that we need to probably do updates on. I think maybe like one or two small updates, but yeah, we'll look over those tomorrow, and I'm gonna figure out why Brian Koberger keeps trending, because I don't know why he's trending, but there's nothing under the latest or the greatest. Mm. We're just reading this. Okay. Well, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, don't forget to come back tomorrow now, y'all here. No, if you guys don't mind though, before I let you go, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell icon. That way you're alerted to all new content I put out. I do pre-recorded videos and I do lives every evening. I do a live pre-recorded. I usually put those out on the weekends. And I thank you guys all for being here tonight. And thanks for gifting the memberships and the super chats. You guys are so sweet. And thank you for being a member for so long, Ashley. 26 months. It's a long time. It's a long time. So thank you guys so much. I will be back tomorrow, and we will discuss some more true crime. Bye, guys.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out.